Today we're going to talk about growing your sales with online ads.
All of the online platforms now are selling advertisement space, like all of them are, so they are going to really limit your organic posting. Hi, welcome to the Mindset and Marketing Podcast. I'm your co-host for today, Matthew Toman, and I'm joined with
Sharon Kirkpatrick.
Here at the Mindset and Marketing Podcast, we aim to give you jargon-free information around everything mindset and everything marketing, and a bit of life stuff as well. Probably more life stuff this week than anything. What have you been up to?
Oh, really?
I've had such a busy, I don't even know where to start. It's been an insane week. It's been a really, really busy week.
In good or like in a good way or a bad way?
Oh no, brilliant way, the best way. It's been flat out. I've just been doing loads of social stuff. Went to see Dune 2 last night. Actually, at Daniel and Nathan were going, and they're like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, no worries, I'll go," because I seen the first one, I loved it, and I wanted to see the second one. And he did definitely tell me at the time, but it didn't really sink in until yesterday. It didn't start until 11:15 at night. I was like, I'm usually sleeping for like an hour.
And was it worth it?
It was, but I ended up drinking half a prime and then had like a large Coke Zero, which actually has quite a lot of caffeine as well. Big popcorn, M&Ms, and then these other jelly things at didn't get into bed until like 3, and then didn't get to sleep till 4, and then was up at 8 to get back to work and do this.
But still worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was definitely worth it. Yeah, it was good. It was brilliant. It was really, really good. If you haven't seen, I know you haven't seen it, have you?
I was going to say, I think I must be the only person who has not seen this movie because everybody keeps talking about it. I haven't seen the first one.
Yeah, I'm not into sci-fi, and I know you're not either, but I really enjoyed it. I wasn't into Star Trek or anything,
I'm not normally into Star Wars or anything like that, but then that show Stranger Things, I liked it, and it's sci-fi.
Yeah, I didn't get into that. I got that recommended to me at the weekend. Well, it's been recommended loads, but someone said to me over the weekend to do it, to definitely get into it. So I might actually get back into Stranger Things.
Well, I might give that first film a watch tonight and see how I feel.
Yeah, because if you can watch the other one in the cinema, we watched it in IMAX, and it was good. And then on Saturday night, I went to basketball. Lakers were playing the Nuggets, so it was really good.
Are they actually called the Nuggets, or is that a nickname?
The other team are called the Nuggets, but the LeBron James, who plays for the Lakers, scored his 40,000th point on Saturday, which is apparently it's never going to be unbeaten, which whenever you look at actually the top scorers in the whole league, it's like you don't even know how anybody could even come close to it.
Okay.
He broke the record for 38,000 a few years ago, and then the next one down I think is 31,000, and he's already at 40, and then he end up scoring another probably 10 points or something that night, so he's
wow,
he's going to be at 41,000 probably soon. Do you know what I mean? And people are still, they're not going to be able to catch him. It was insane. It was a really good big deal around it though, and we got brilliant seats, and it was good. It was really, really good as well.
Nice. I want to know who names these players or these teams, because see, if someone said to me, "Do you want to come play for our team? They're called the Nuggets," I'd be like, no. What
if they said you'll get 33 million over a 3-year deal, and with an opportunity for a merch?
I'd say, will the Lakers or someone with a cool name offer me that as well? I'll go there.
The Nuggets won the championship last year.
Nuggets.
The Lakers are nowhere near winning. I know what you mean. No, I do know what you mean. They
could have even said Golden Nuggets or something. Just Nuggets sounds like a bunch of nuggets running around the court, trying to score.
They've actually got a name of where they come from. I haven't got my phone on me. I would have googled actually their real name. I don't know. I just know them as the Nuggets. Yeah.
Just every time you say it makes me laugh.
Yeah, it was funny. So it was so good. And then what else? Just last week, flat out with work, onboarding new clients, new people in Life's a Beach, and then also filming for a very exciting project that we've got coming. It'll probably be here within 2 weeks, and I cannot wait. I can't wait.
Nice.
So I filmed scripts on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I mean, I was cold reading off a teleprompter. It was doing my head in. It was a stressful day on Saturday. Only took me 3 hours, but it was an intense 3 hours.
That's where your acting skills come in, because you know when you're reading off a teleprompter, you have to remember not to just sound. You obviously can do that, but some people can't.
The problem is I can't read off a teleprompter, so the reason why it sounds natural is because I go completely and utterly off script and end up delivering the way that I would. Well, I tell a lie. That is so not true. It was word for word on this occasion, but there is some things I have to change because the copywriter, I can't take anything away from the copywriters. You know, I can't take responsibility for somebody writing copy. You
felt bad there.
I did. I had a bit of a remorse straight away. And I was like, actually, that's not true. I didn't. But the thing is, I obviously had proof to everything. And we had done a draft in the copyrights back and forth. It's collaborative. So I ended up filming scripts all day. And then on Sunday was in my 5th out of 6th comedy improv classes.
So one more to go.
And then a showcase.
Which Matthew's recording and will be on sale for $49.
No, it'll go on it'll go. Oh my God, the people in the class are so funny. They're so funny. It's like there's some people in there some of the things. The classes are such good laugh, and the teacher's brilliant. Ahmed, he's so. Do you want to know what? I'm really, really enjoying it. Every Sunday.
I know why, people, who are in that field or industry, now I have to kind of go out and explore all the time to get new content, because so you were out and you probably got loads of content this weekend, and when we were down in Dublin on Sunday or Saturday, the amount of funny experiences and conversations were had with total strangers was comedy gold. It was just the best.
That's what I loved about living in Dublin. You bump into people and you actually start talking to them. Sorry, go on anyway. So what were you doing this weekend?
Well, that's what I was doing initially, because it was a couple of our friends' birthdays and we were heading down to Dublin for the day. And initially I was raging because obviously I'm not long back from the trip and then straight into work, and I just wanted kind of a chilled weekend. But instead I was having I had to be on the 8:30 train to Dublin, which means I had to get up at 6:45 to start the partying day. I was livid when I woke up. God. I was like, who books this train? Because there's one at 11. I was like, why are we on this train? And I was so annoyed for the first hour. And then we had a wee mimosa on the train, so that calmed me down. And then we just went into the flow of things. But we had an absolute ball. But we did the usual things, nice lunch and then hit Temple Bar. But Temple Bar is going to need to expand because it was packed. Yeah. You can't move. So you're enjoying the music and having the crack, but you can't actually have a wee boogie or anything because you're literally standing like that.
You need to go to Fitzsimon's or somewhere, that club. One of those clubs, and then you get a dance floor and stuff where there's a bit more space, because the bars, there's nowhere to dance in the bars.
No, it kind of made me for the first time go, I might actually prefer a night out in Belfast because it's not as busy as that in Belfast at the minute, and you still can have a wee boogie, but it was good fun.
What did did you go home on the same day?
Yeah, we got the train then at 10 to 9. So that was a full day of and at the start I was like, how are we going to fill this? How are we going to fill a full day? Because there was no tours or anything booked. It was just pure eating and drinking. And we managed it, of course, took one for the team. And then we ended up having to get an Uber to our train because we were going to be late. But on the way home, we were getting a McDonald's, which everyone had the plan to do. And the bloody machine at McDonald's that gives you receipts, for your number, stopped working. So there was 50 people standing waiting to hear what was ordered. And then they're trying to you had to prove to them that you ordered it by showing them your bank account.
Oh my
Like,
God.
what has happened? What is going on? But we're home in bed by 12, so winning.
Oh God, that's brilliant. That was the thing with me. Like for the last hour of last night, I was like, why the hell are we going to the cinema at 11:15? You know, at night. You know,
then you
even though
just
we
get into it.
were there from like 10, then went to like the bar and stuff and had some, had a chill. But no, that's great. That sounds like a brilliant weekend.
It was good fun. So then yesterday I just chilled and watched. Have you seen on Netflix that show One Day?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah. No,
So I
don't
was
give too
loving
much
it.
away about
I'm
that.
not going to. I was
Yeah.
loving it. And then I was like, oh, right.
I
Didn't
know.
realise.
I watched it in one day. Do you watch it all yesterday? Yeah.
I watched half of it, the last half of it all.
I really enjoyed it. Actually, I loved the performances and stuff. It was very good. It was really, really good. I loved it. I've been listening to this podcast called Not Another British Cult or something. I sent it to you.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
really
haven't listened
good.
to it yet.
Yeah, I need to check it. You need to check it out. Yeah,
I'll get on that this week.
Yeah, you should do. What is today's podcast about? I haven't even looked yet.
Today we're going to talk about growing your sales with online ads.
Okay, interesting. Good. Yeah, everybody needs to rerun ads at some point. You don't need to whenever you're starting out though, so don't. Like, they're very daunting. They were daunting for me as a business owner.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh my God, I need to do this, but what do you do? What is it?
And the funny thing is, like, anytime we get customers through the agency door, they're always like, we want to run ads. And you're like, okay, yes, let's do that. But you need to, obviously, before you ever run ads, you need to make sure that you're looking the best that you can online and everything's set up correctly. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting your money, because people do the research after, they get served an ad. And if that's not up to scratch, then there's problems. But like for anyone when we say online ads, we're talking about, Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all those kind of things. That's what we mean. And the reason, yeah.
Even influencing is like a form of ads
Affiliate.
as well, affiliate marketing
Yeah.
things. But yeah, go on ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, and so the whole purpose of ads is obviously so you've got your website up, you've got your socials up. If you don't have those up, I would say hold off from running ads until you've got them looking, in good order and ensure that they're all working correctly. But once you've done that, you've built your website, you've got your socials running. Yes, sometimes people will find you if they go and search for you, or they search for a hashtag that you've connected to a social post. But outside of that, you're waiting on them coming to you. So the benefit of running online ads is that you can actually then get in front of those customers, even though they're not searching for you. But because of all the algorithms around ads, we're able to then target, specific customers based on who you're trying to speak to. So the whole benefit of online ads is actually going out and bringing the customers to your website or to your socials. So that's obviously the main reason people want to run ads, and that's how you're going to see an increase on your sales.
Yeah.
But I thought what we could do is just kind of go through, I suppose, what's required to run an ad, kind of our top tips, and things like that. What do you think?
Perfect. So you also have to remember as well, all of the online platforms now are selling advertisement space, like all of them are. So they are going to really limit your organic posting, it's really your organic posting isn't really going to get that many likes unless it's funny, unless it's humorous. There's certain things that really land with people. But whenever you're selling a product or a service, they don't always serve your organic posts. So whenever you're not seeing many likes on your post, not much engagement, don't panic. You're going to have to incorporate ads into it. What I really use the organic posting for is to show presence, to show you're alive. So this is what I do myself. I look at a business that I've just been served an ad or I'm going to buy from, and I'll go onto their page and see was the last time they posted, and if they have a story alive, and if their link in bio works. That's what I personally do. And then
Yeah.
I'll go back out of that and then go back into the ad and then engage and go through the sales page process if I want to buy it. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of people say my social media is crap. Or if you've got someone doing social media management for you and you think this company's crap, they're not giving me any engagement. It's not the company, it's not anything.
Yeah.
They want you to spend money, but because a lot of people don't, it depends on your niche. Not a lot of people might be spending money within your area and your niche, so you could actually really stand out, and in front of people. But yeah, no. So if you want to take it from there,
Yeah.
sorry.
I think, and obviously there's companies out there like us that will run ads for businesses or startups or whatever it might be, and then there's some people who decide to tackle the ads themselves, and either is fine, but what we would say is just be so careful if you're going to run your own ads. Just make sure that you've put the training in to understand the perimeters and the setup, because yes, you can go on and just hit a few buttons to run a Google ad or hit a few buttons to run a Facebook or Instagram ad, but the chances are that because you haven't trained yourself on how to do it properly, you could potentially lose ad spend or be targeting the wrong people at the wrong time or in the wrong location. So it is so important, if someone's not doing it for you, to just make sure you take the time to understand the platforms that you're going to be running those ads on, because we've had it before where people have kind of decided X amount of budget and didn't limit, what could be spent per day, or didn't exclude certain areas or certain demographics, so the age of people, and then they end up wasting a lot of their ad spend, and they've learnt too late, which can actually be ad spend if you don't set it up right, can be eaten up in moments.
And be careful with Google on that. One of my clients, we don't run ads for this person, but it's a person that I've done work for in a different area. But they end up doing the Google ads themselves. We weren't running Google ads at the time, but I did advise them, and they got someone in that was really, really cheap, couple $100 a month, and he found out that his spend was $21,000 for a product that was run to the App Store, and it was actually, he had to have this fight with American Express to get his money back, and Google fought it. Google were like, no, here's all where you opted in, here's the commitment you made, here's everything. They didn't turn off like a toggle, which was limiting the spend on a cap on a certain thing, and he trusted that person to do that. But I think he was trying to save a bit of money by getting her to do it. But he did trust her, and she was saying, hey, I can do this for this amount of money. And I do believe either, and the funny thing was, all of see 21,000 in spend, see if that was going to your sales page and you were getting some leads from it, or you were getting the data from it. I would often say, look, it's not money wasted. Do you know what I mean? There's been people clicking on the ad and people clicking on your page. You've got that data. It went to an app store. Didn't even get one single bit of the data. Didn't get any downloads. It was like, what? I felt so bad for him. But I don't know what happened in the end. I don't think he got his money back. I think he got credit or something, but he didn't get his money back. He had to pay that 21,000.
Horrible.
I know.
So that's the thing to be careful of. That's the number one point. If you're doing it yourself, make sure you do the training, because there's loads of training on there, especially if you're looking at Google and Facebook ads. They provide different online training courses that you can do to get up to speed. So that's kind of the first thing. And then after that, if you're deciding to take on and tackle your own ads, there are a few key things that we think are vital to making sure that you have a successful ad campaign. So we'll jump into them. The first one is do the research. If you're switching on an ad, and I don't just mean research, so you've trained yourself up on how to do it. If you then just start switching on an ad without doing any research into your customer, into ads in that industry that's performed well before, or into the social media platforms that your customers are on, if you haven't done all of that research and you just pick Google out of thin air and start running ads to it, you're going to lose money again. So do the research. So that's the first thing that you should do after you've educated yourself. And by that, we mean, so who is your customer? So what age are they? Where do they live? What location are they in? What's their interests?
And a lot of this should be done whenever you're building out your product as well. Whenever we send people an onboarding research form for Google Ads SEO or Facebook ads, Instagram ads, like they're like, oh, this is so interesting. And I'm thinking, oh my God, your business has been successful and you haven't done this and you're like 6 years in business. Like you need to know this information regardless. Like this exercise and the stuff that Sharon's getting you to go through in a tick list is actually stuff that you're going to have to do. You should be doing regardless of anything.
Yeah, exactly. For people who are running ads for the first time, if you're trying to figure out what social platform to utilize, sometimes if you have Google Analytics set up on your website, you'll be able to go in and see, where referrals are coming from. So it'll say if it's Instagram, Facebook, or Google search, organic, whatever. If you don't have all of that information, and you can even get those analytics from Facebook if you've got a Facebook account, and you can go and see what who your customers are if you don't have that. But say failing all of that, you've none of that information, you can actually go online and Google in or search for, your industry and your worldwide demographics for your industry. So you can start to work backwards from there. So if you don't have the analytics, someone out there does. So use that information to power and for example, if you say like, ad campaigns for beauty industry, statistics, that'll bring it up and that'll tell you how Instagram performs, how Facebook, how YouTube, how all of them perform. So you can make a more informed decision about which platform to start on, because you're not going to be able to start on them all, only because you're not going to have the ad spend, to split across all of those platforms. So that's the first one. Do your research, and then don't forget that with any ads you need a budget. So and
just on that point as well, before we jump off it about setting them up yourself, like I set my first ad campaign. I always talk about it for Feature Film School. Set it up myself. Set it up with a ClickFunnels page. Built the page myself. Then set up the ad. Went through a YouTube video like that on one page and that on another page. Spent 350 to 500 euros or else dollars at the time. Made 17.5 grand. That was a high ticket product. I was selling people into an acting course, but I done that all myself from each part. And that person got served that ad. And this is before like I understood about sales copy or anything like that. I actually put a video and everything on the page because I got one of the guys to edit it like a video trailer. And so whenever we say to do this, like I have done this myself and I'm not technical, so you can do it. Yeah. But you got to be prepared to like waste a little bit of money and try things. And I was lucky in that instance because it only took me like 7 sales or something to hit the figure that I really wanted to, or 5 sales, I think. I think it was 5 sales at 2,500 or 3,500 or something. Anyway, it was 17.5 grand at the end, whatever that divided down to. But I had like 300 or 400 leads. I'll never forget it. I was like, oh my God, I've got 400 phone numbers. And I had to go through them all and ring them and be like, and then get them into the course. And then we closed off at 10. But I could not believe it. Whenever I started getting people's numbers and I rang them and they were like, yeah, I want to do this acting course. And I'm like, a lot of people couldn't do it because of the price point. But the buzz that I got was like, oh my God. And then I knew from that point, and this is like 2016. And I was like, from that point, I was like, oh my God, it's all about paid traffic.
And you know what though? You probably have a bit of an upper hand. Like obviously, yes, everyone can do it, but you are in a mindset of marketing. So you would have known without really doing the research about your customer. You would have already been thinking all those marketing things in your head.
No, I'll say this. This is 2016. I didn't open Bankhouse Media till 2018.
Did you just wing it?
This was me coming from film production, and then my next venture from there. Bankhouse Productions, then my next venture was Feature Film School, where I opened an acting school in Temple Bar, where they actually made a movie at the end. And really what I was typing into Facebook was very like layman's terms, you know, actor, they follow, you know, and I was typing in all the pages that they might like, and you know, building it around that. The age that because I knew my product that I was selling. You know,
Yeah.
I knew that what people I wanted to get. So a lot, I wouldn't, if I was to do that now, I would have a completely different outlook on it. Do you know,
Yeah.
I'd be looking at, you know, how much salary they make, could they make it, you know, could they afford it? Where I got 400 people opting in, but like only, you know, 10 converted into sales in the very end, and don't know if they all came from ads or not. But no, I didn't have. I went really, really in blind. I'm not joking. 2 windows open, like watching a YouTube video and setting it up in Facebook at the same time. And it was because I was working with an agency at the time that just overcomplicated for me. Now, they didn't do that intentionally. They were just telling me, and they were like, oh, because by the time I would have paid them to build up
Yeah.
to build the ads, pay my spend, it was too risky for me. So I took the money that I would have paid them and I built it myself and put it into the spend because my business was at such a low level. I couldn't afford marketing and spend. It was, and then I was going to put them under pressure. And I think they didn't want to work with me because they knew that I would have put them under pressure because I was in such a really, really tight spot.
And this is the thing with ads, the more spend you have available, the more success you're going to get from it. Because basically it's a bidding war, so you're bidding for those views. So if you've got more spend, you're getting in front of more people, so you're going to get better returns. Now, that's just generally speaking. Obviously, everything else has to be correct, but you probably then had that advantage of a higher spend than people maybe starting off going in at like $10 or €10 a day. You maybe upped it and just went straight in with whatever you had available.
Yeah, I think I did. I didn't have much money at all at the time. I was like, this is bootstrapping my business. It was actually probably 2015. You know, it could have been, I don't know. I'd need to go back and have a look because I've still got that ad account. I'd love to go back and see what date it was because I think it was really early on. Like, it was really early on because I was just opening feature film school. Yeah, it was crazy. Because actually I didn't even have the office in Temple Bar.
Well, the main thing is, obviously, you can go it alone and try and do it. That's what we're encouraging. But do a wee bit of work because that was
As soon as you make enough money, well, the reason why that worked is because it was a high ticket offer. If I was selling the product at £10 or £15, right, a product or service, and I had got 400 sales, or sorry, 10 sales, that what I got in the end, I would have only made like £100, and I would have spent that time setting it up, done those calls, and then wasted money. So I'd have been down £400. As soon as you can get someone else to do it, and you can delegate that to somebody, an expert that you really, really trust, that have got shown results, get it over to them, honestly, because you need to get into the hands of experts as quick as you can, you know.
Yeah, because there's going to be times when you can turn something on and it'll work really well, right? And that's the minority. A lot of the time, what has to happen is you turn an ad on and you figure out. There's like a learning period for most platforms where the platforms are trying to learn and understand the engagement with your target audience. So a lot of the time, there's that 2-week period where it's trying to figure you out. And then after that, you start to see results. And then from there, you have to understand those numbers and change what's working and what's not working. And so what is a good number in that campaign? What's a bad number? And then optimize it that way. Whereas by the sounds of things, you didn't really have to do any optimization on yours. It just worked that first time.
I sent them straight to lead forms. Yeah. But that was like back in the day. Things have changed since then, to be honest. Things have changed, you know.
Yeah. Well, the main thing point there was that obviously you need a budget, right? So whatever social channels you're going for, just bear in mind that you need to put some spend behind that, and you should be prepared to kind of invest in that ad campaign for, kind of a 6-week period to allow the campaigns time to understand what's going on and then to allow you to optimize the results. So you need to work out what budget you can spend per day. That's not going to kind of tip you over. In terms of budgets, there's like loads of different theories around what budget you should have available. Whenever we're working with clients, it depends on their lifetime value of their customer. So, and like Matthew said there, what are you selling to them? What product or service are you selling, and how much is that worth to you? And then you work it backwards from there. If it's like a $10 product versus a $3,000 product, the chances are you're going to be spending more for the 3,000. So a general rule of thumb, if you've never done ads before, is that you should figure out what the product cost is and times that by 3 to 4 to kind of work out what you should be spending. But it's a tricky one, because at the start you are not going to know. Normally we say for the first 4 weeks of a campaign you should be looking just to break even on your ad spend, and that's a successful campaign. Obviously not on the back of what Matthew just said, but
but honestly, like, just to go back on that as well, like, even having like a zero sales and like it might be a 2-month run and maybe some leads, like, the data is valuable, like the learning is valuable, like all of the information, like testing the market of your product is valuable, because what is wrong then? How's your messaging? What is your product good enough? Is your product something that sets in? So I like to, even if I'm not getting any money back and I'm not making any money, and I have spent like thousands on ads and made zero back, like literally zero, whenever I was launching a product. And I know you and Daniel suggested stopping, and I was like, look, I want to spend the full amount of the product that it's going to cost, just to get some data in and see, because I thought the data was valuable. And actually what I found was that whenever I was really honest with myself, yes, the sales funnel needed tweaked and stuff, but the product wasn't good enough. It wasn't positioned well enough, so instead of me spending another year and a half trying to flog that product, I was able to go in and say, okay, what do I change here? Because I had data to prove, okay, these platforms work, they make money, there's people within this industry making money, but there's something within my product that I need to change and tweak. Is it the price point? Is it the name? Is it, and all that. So that even if you don't make any money, it's like the data is like,
because then
valuable.
You can remarket to them if you set it up right, so they maybe didn't buy on that occasion, but they're thinking about it and they now know who you are. So, there could be a return that way. I mean, if you've been running ads before yourself and you're struggling, there's a better kind of budget analysis to work out. So what you do is you figure out the lifetime value of that client, and then you times that by your conversion rate. So say I close 1 in 4. I close 1 in 4 leads that come in, then I would times that the product value by 25, 0.25 for the 25%, and then from there you times that by the click-through, the conversion rates that you're seeing on your current campaigns, and that gives you what your spend is. But that's a bit technical for people who haven't run ads before. So there's a wee bit of figuring out to do in the budget. The main thing is there is a budget that's there that will be needed, and it probably starts off higher, and then as you learn and optimize your ad, you should be able to bring the spend down.
Yeah.
Not put it up. Initially, you should be able to bring it down whenever
you
it learns.
bring your cost of lead, sale, anything down. That should be going down. Like your cost per click should be going down. And if you got someone like working on and optimizing the actual whole process, that's what you should see. So some people might say, "Oh my God, it's cost me £150 for a lead." You're like, "Okay, no worries. That's okay. We're getting leads. Let's work from there, and let's bring those down."
And again, it's something else. If you've never done it before, you can put into Google, average cost per lead for your industry. Now, it's not going to be 100% because the industries that they do the research on is quite broad. So it'll be like beauty, fitness, e-commerce, all that kind of stuff. But you can get an idea on what you would need to be spending. So you've done your research, you've figured out roughly what the budget is going to need to be. And then what you got to do is figure out the ad assets. So when we say ad assets, that's the video or the graphic that you're going to be serving people, or the text that will come on the ad, and the ad copy. So all of those things kind of need to be figured out and understood before you go live, and you need to create those pieces of content so that you can put them on the front of your ad. And that's a really vital part. But what a lot of people miss in their ad assets, as you mentioned there, Matthew, is creating a sales page for that ad campaign. So a lot of people will just create an ad and run it to their website or just to a form on like through the ad itself, which is okay. But in order to really maximize your results, you should be creating like a website page that specifically talks about that product or service and that target market. And then you can run all of your ads to that web page, because there's loads of benefits to that. Because the first one is when they click through on the ad, they're going to see information that relates solely to what they wanted to hear about. Not all of your products, all of your services, all of you, just that information. And the other benefit of that is, as you mentioned, Matthew, that you're getting then analytics, because there'll be a pixel that you'll set up on your ad campaign that goes to that page. So you'll be able to then retarget to people. If you don't have that, you can't retarget to them.
Yeah, you need to be collecting the data. That's how it's same with whenever you get ads. It was funny yesterday in my comedy class, someone made a joke about social media. It's either, where it used to be some are really cool, where now it's just like this, and the third one that said was like someone analyzing you and getting all your data and like targeting you, putting stuff in front of you that you should be buying. And I just kind of had to laugh to myself thinking, God, that's actually, what we do essentially. But the thing about it is the products that we're marketing are selling and they're adding value to people. So you can't think like, oh, I'm taking someone's data and I'm getting in front of them and I'm like doing all that. It's like the people want this. Like I know whenever I see new gym shorts or new pair of shoes, like I'm like, yeah, that's actually what I'm thinking. How do you know that? I don't care. I'm just like, send it to me. I want to buy it anyway. So you got to really... do you remember one time a client said to us, because they saw me retargeted to them a lot and they were like, I felt like you were everywhere. I was on their YouTube, their LinkedIn. It went a bit nuts. We pulled back. We had a really strong ad campaign on that time. And they didn't sign on with us because they didn't want their company to be like tracking people. And I'm like, that's kind of that, like how we had set that up was good. That was a positive thing. And they were like, no, I felt like you were in my life.
Yeah. I know, and the thing is, those ads couldn't have went to them if they didn't agree to, they were obviously on our website, agreed to all of that information, and that's why then you're able to retarget to them, but it works. Retargeting is like one of the most successful campaigns ever. It's
cost effective. It's so cheap as well. Retarget is so cheap.
And if you think about the sales page that we were talking about, trying to explain it in kind of layman's terms is, imagine like, you got served an ad for this amazing like hair straightener from this big brand, and then you click on that ad to buy the hair straightener because you want to know more about it. And then whenever you click on it, it just takes you to their website, and they've got 25 different hair straighteners, and you have to try and figure out where that hair straightener is and go down that and try and find reviews on that hair straightener specifically. Whereas if you create a sales page, they're clicking on that ad and they're going directly to a page that just talks about that, reviews on that, all the positives of that, able to buy that. So it makes the journey quicker for someone who's interested. You grab their attention and now they're interested, and now you're giving them the information about that. So it just helps speed up the whole process and encourages engagement. So that's why everyone's doing those sales pages. And
think about it. Think about it like this as well. Imagine you walked into like Levi's high street store and you're like, hey, I need a pair of jeans, like, size, whatever size you wanted, size 12, size 8, and in blue, and the attendant just walks over to you with like size 6 through to 24 in blue, green, black, and just throws them all on the floor in front of you. And you're like, what the hell are you doing? Because your website is like an attendant within your shop. You got to treat your customers like that. You got to talk to them. Hey, I've got a pair of jeans here. Here's the color. Here's the size. Like it's click. Whereas like someone just coming and throwing everything on the floor and being like, hey, work it out yourself. Just walking away. Because that's what a lot of people's websites do, and they don't realize are their sales pages. I actually done a sales page training. Did you watch it yet?
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah. I wonder
Do you
what
know,
you were talking
Daniel
about.
said we should just put it on YouTube and not actually even sell it. He said put that on YouTube and just actually put that. It's a 7-figure sales page training, and it's an actual page where we built the original one and then we built the new one with everything that we've learned, and we've turned it into where now it's generating over 7 figures a year just through this one sales page. And we done like the difference from there to there. Sharon wrote the copy for it. It's one of our best high performing sales pages out there. It was absolutely amazing. And you know, it was engagement with back and forth. I knew what I wanted to input. The client really knew what they wanted to input. Sharon, I just felt like you took it. And do you work with Daniel on that, or do you do that just yourself?
Just did that by myself, guys.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I loved it. We have really, really brilliant sales pages. Like we do. They're all high converting. They're great. But this one in particular is like a 7-figure and soon to be multi-7-figure sales page. Because there's literally hundreds and hundreds of leads coming from it. And I done training, screen record, walk through it. I think we should maybe just stick that up. What do you think? Or put it in the members area or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give it away free some way.
And the exciting thing is, like, whenever you get all of this data down and you turn your ads on, it is interesting and fun learning what works and what doesn't, because you will be tweaking them all the time. And whenever you get a real buzz, whenever you find, you know, you hit that golden nugget, and you know, you kind of then can build everything else around that. But it is about trial and error. Most times you have to turn on an ad and you have to work on it. You have to change things.
Yeah.
You have to update them, you know, and some people think if they just switch on an ad, it'll work, like it did for Matthew that time, but that's not the norm. So it's just setting those expectations from the start so that you can go into it with an open mind and really learn from it as well.
Do you want me to tell you why mine worked?
Yeah.
It was an offer that was not seen anywhere. It was the best offer in the acting world that anybody had ever came across. You went and done 3 months workshop, right, with a director and a scriptwriter, and then you shot a full movie. So you got a feature film at the end of it. There was nobody else doing it, right? So my offer was so strong and I believed in it so much. If I was doing the same ad campaign selling websites, which I know there is a market there for it, it wouldn't have had the same success. You know, because it was such a, like, it was like a blue ocean, what they called, you know, like a red ocean and blue ocean. Blue ocean is where a red ocean is where there's loads of sharks in there, loads and loads of people, and it's like they're all biting at each other and it's all red. Or where like a blue ocean is like something so new, so fresh, and nobody else was doing. And I ran that 4 times. We done 4 movies through feature film school. And then I just burnt myself out. I loved that business, and I contemplated opening that up in LA. And instead of charging like, you know, $5,000 for it, charging like 50. Do you know what I mean? Because people are out here would spend that. They spend more than that on college, you know? So it's like going to a college. Well,
that's a valid point. You know, that makes sense, because if there's no competition out there, you know what I mean? There
was other acting schools, but it was my offer that was unique. So you got to look at what your offer is and be realistic. Is this good enough? You know what I mean? Is my offer good enough?
Yeah.
Because in a lot of instances, it's not. And like, trust me, I've had bad offers. Yeah. Do you know, I've tried to sell things and it was a bad offer. And then you have to go back and tweak it and change it. So a lot of people are like trying to flog this dead horse. And you're like, do you want to know what? There's people out there that are delivering this better than you. Like one of the clients that we worked with, their sales page, we were driving traffic to a website. And our Google Ads guy just said, listen, here's their competitors. Look at their competitor sales pages. Like, who would you buy from? And I said, I know we need to go back and root through that and talk to the client and see what we're going to do, because we're wasting money otherwise.
I know. And that's the thing. When you're creating your ad assets, go and do your research about that. So how you do that is real simple. Just go on Google as a starting point and Google the service. Like, so if it was us, we'd Google websites Dublin, websites Ireland, and then the top ones will come up and it'll say ad beside them. So you'll see the effort and the messaging that your competitors are putting in to those ads. And if you're not prepared to do that to the same level and better, well then don't run the ad, because you're going to be competing with them and it's going to be a waste of money. You need to put the effort into researching it and then creating messaging and an offer, like Matthew said, that's going to stand out, that's going to encourage people. It's going to excite them, and then that way you're going to get the conversions. So
Can you offer like 10% off, 50% off? You know, give people a deal. Like people will buy if it's an offer, like a good deal.
And what we always say too, if you have several products or services that you want to run campaigns for, always start with your best performer, because that's you putting your best foot forward. You might sell something that you really want to sell or is new and you're busting to get sold, but you don't have enough data on it yet, or people just aren't buying it. We wouldn't recommend starting with an ad campaign around that product or service. We would recommend looking at your bank and seeing which ones have been performing the best and then leading with them, because the proof is in the pudding there, and you'll have testimonials and reviews and experience that you can attach to that campaign based on, you know, what's worked so far. So yeah, that's just another wee note. So I think then research, budget, assets, and then from there, once you switch your ad on, always review it every single day to make sure you haven't missed something and your spend's not going sky high. There's loads of tracking tools. The reports for Google and all of the platforms is unreal, so you'll be able to see almost minute by minute, you know, what's going on, and you'll be able to see whenever you're creating a campaign, you'll probably have different assets. So you might have a graphic, you might have a video, you might have text, whatever, and you've got loads of different messaging out there. You'll be able to see which ones are working and then turn off the ones that aren't, and then do more of the ones that are working. Do that kind of, review it every day and update it probably, I don't know, on like a fortnightly or so basis, depending on what results you're seeing.
Yeah, don't jump in too soon and just like start changing things. Allow it to learn, allow it to like pick up data, allow it to figure out what's going on, you know. That's what I would suggest.
And try to have fun with it too. You know, ads are supposed to catch people. You know, it doesn't, like, experiment with maybe some kind of humor type ad graphics or some review ad graphics or some emotional kind of, or educational, you know, and just try and find out what people are interacting with, and then from there you can do, you know, more of that. Don't put out like 5 assets of all the same things, so 5 graphics of testimonials, you know, because you're not going to learn anything from that, you know.
And think about how, like, be realistic. People buy on offers. You know, if I see like 20% off or 50% off, or I bought this stuff, Fabletics, like a whole load of gym gear, and like it was probably inflated prices on the websites or something, but it was like 77 or 70% off. So it was like, you know, at the end of checkout, it was like $250 odd down to like 46 with shipping, plus shipping or something. I was like, oh my God. So, you know, I was getting this unbelievable deal. What I didn't realize the company had done was signed me up to a subscription model where I pay $70 a month, which then goes into credit, and then I have to spend it on there. So I actually cancelled it because, you know, I wouldn't need that much gym gear to be posted every week, you know, or every month. It does loads of things on there, really good box shorts and stuff. So I will use it again, and they're emailing me offers obviously already, but yeah, lead with offers. Like, do a good deal. Like, offer someone a deal, and you'll get more business, or be able to work with somebody. If it's a service, add services on. Like, you know, do multiple services. Like, I don't know. I think everybody just wants a deal right now and an offer, especially whenever all this news is coming out about recessions and, you know, your inflation and all these things. Give people good deals, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, because the other side of that is, say you run a campaign and you have competitors out there who are offering maybe a similar product or service, and you haven't provided them with a deal. Well, they're probably going to, and they don't know you yet, they're probably going to go and do a bit of research and see kind of who's the best or what's going on. So a way to kind of keep yourself ahead is by giving them that discount or giving that more value or something like that for being especially if it's a first time customer, because they don't know you yet, so they don't have any commitment to, you know, going with you. So you need to really try and put your best foot forward there again. And it's not, you know, you could give them a huge discount on that product for their first purchase, if it is a product, But then it could be a product that they want to buy again, or you could have other products that they're going to buy off you. So yes, you've maybe lost some money on that deal, but you've gained, that's that lifetime value of the customer. They're not just going to buy that once with you. They're going to then spend more with you because that happens. Yeah.
If you have to spend $5, $50, $100, $1,000, whatever it is to like acquire that lead, you can then email them at any point and stay engaged with them, and then sell to them again, and that's free. That's 100% free then, because you've got that person already in.
It's so funny because I was speaking to a potential client today, and she was saying, how does this company do this? Like, I've went and I've bought everything from them. Like, honestly, it's ridiculous. And like, I haven't even watched half the stuff. And she goes, but they give me deals, and their marketing's so good, and she just bought all this stuff. And she's like, I even know myself, like, what am I doing? But she's buying it because she thinks she's getting a deal, and she's excited by what they're saying, on the front end.
Is, at the other
and
side,
she keeps buying from them.
But that company probably are giving her an unbelievable deal.
Yeah.
Right? And whenever they're giving her an unbelievable deal, but she's not using it.
Yeah.
How many people buy Life's a Beach and don't finish the course? I would say there's a lot, do you know what I mean, that don't even finish it. That's not my problem. Do you know, I have people going through Life's a Beach and have major success. So it's like, you can bring a horse to water, so she probably, was it a fitness product?
No, it was about it was actually kind of what we do. It was about creating an online
yeah, look, I'm not joking. This company rang me once and said, hey, do you want to buy, for a Black Friday offer, it's every single package, every single course that we've ever done, our $10,000 course, this course for $6,000 or $5,500. And I said to him, mate, I'm not buying it. Like, literally, I'm not spending $6,000 on this. Like, stop calling me. He called me like 3 times over Black Friday. Final time he rang me, I said, I'll give you $500. And he took $500 and he charged my card that he had already on file, which was insane. And then he, because I'd already bought off them previously, $500, but I never looked at one single video. Some of the guys on the team did, but I looked at a bit of it. But I got it. I spent $500, and do you want to know what? For me at that time, because I was building like everything that we were doing, I was more looking at for the structure. Like how did it look on the back end? How did this look? I think I ended up sat down and did do a few of the videos just out of sheer, I paid for this.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. And I thought that's a good enough reason to do it. At least I learned. The company was great. They offered me really serious value throughout the years.
And you don't have a negative experience either because you got a good deal.
I do, right? But see, this company, they just got done by the FTA, the advertising laws in America, and got like a huge fine.
Okay. Are you going to be claiming some money back?
$500? No. They had to pay $1 million back, and then they got fined and refunds, but they were like, the one thing that I didn't like about them, but I learned a lot. I was going through all the sales calls. They were so pushy. They were like, hey, they said to me, we've got your card on file. Would you like to go ahead for a $40,000 package? $40,000. I'm like, mate, my card's not going to go. My card. He said, do you want me to charge your card now? And I'm like, no. And I can remember coming off the call thinking, this company is insane. How they market that can't be legal. They got done and shut down. But they offered great value though.
Imagine this had been in like your drinking days and they phoned you and you'd have been like, yeah, no worries, let's go.
God, my drinking days, I had no money. All my money went on drink. But yeah, no, it's funny. Like, but yeah, no, I found that out last week that they got done by FTA, which I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
And another friend of mine from Belfast, he had to really hound them to get like $1,000 back. He'd paid a deposit for like a bigger course, and they just didn't deliver. They were just all about getting the sale.
Guys, don't do that. We don't want to end up in court.
No, don't do it. Like, be honest. Like, give a good deal, give a good offer, and just like, offer someone value. And if you're giving them an educational product, teach them, like, show them how to do it themselves. If you're giving them a product like Bankhouse Media, like, we have refunded a couple of people over the years, I think 3. And but in 10, coming up, this is my 10th year in business. That's not bad. Like, that is not bad. And I was the one made the choice to do that because I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with this anymore, so let's just give them their money back. So, but I don't think that. So, be fair like that. Like with Life's a Beach and all the courses within Mindset and Marketing, we offer a 30-day money back. No, not even like a flipping whatever.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. Like, okay, no worries, because I think it's worse having someone floating around saying they didn't give me my money back, or reporting you to FTA, or doing any of these things. Give it back. And if they're asking for $500 back on a package that like, I would never have asked for my money back with that company, because I was like, there's so much value here.
Yeah.
There's so much value.
And that's kind of a good one. If you can offer guarantees, do. That's why all of those companies, like I noticed it first with, them in a box mattresses. Like there was loads of them companies coming out a few years ago, and they were all doing the same thing. They were offering the money back guarantee because it gives people the confidence to buy and try, and look, people, well, I didn't return mine, but I bought it because I knew I could, that way.
Could you imagine trying to roll that back up? Could you imagine trying to roll it back up and put it in the box? You'd be like, I know.
Yeah, that's part of it. But no, well, I think that's, if you can offer guarantees, do, because it just gives people more confidence. And you'll see that with any major campaigns that are run by big companies, that they offer those guarantees just to give people more, to just kind of persuade them a bit more that it's okay to kind of take that initial risk because you don't know us yet. Here's, us saying to you that we are trustworthy and we're reliable because we will give you your money back, Yeah.
No, 100%. Okay, so...
But yeah, so that's it. So hopefully you got some insights into that. Just remember, do train, do your research. Don't just wing it, please. And put the time into creating those assets that's going to eliminate any concerns or queries or questions that somebody might have, and also ensures that you stand out against your competitors who are also running ads in that space.
Whenever you're there's loads and loads and loads of like free training on YouTube. There's also training on Google. There's a Google Academy you can log into. But Bankhouse Media is a one-stop shop for all of that. We do your content, your sales page, your videos, your ads, like all of that. And we're free consultation. We meet business owners where they're at, essentially. So if you're at a point where we will give, like if your budget's this, then we'll tell you what you need to do next, or direct you to the right sales training that you need to do for it, or offer, there's lots of options. So don't let this overwhelm you. Just like know that I started out doing it myself, and now, I've ads running all over the place.
Yeah.
Albeit it's the own guys that work within the team, but at the same time, we do it for a lot of clients now.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you're wondering, how do I get more people into my, business, more customers into my business, that's how you do it. Get your ads in front of them. So it's a worthwhile exercise. So if you don't have the time or the desire to do it yourself, we can help out. And if not, have a look online and figure it out from there, because there's so many free resources. Oh, you're back.
Thank you so much for watching. Do you want to know what? I'm so tired. I'm actually thinking about. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym now, and then I think I might go to bed. I've had 4 hours sleep. I'm like, I need to get out of here.
Because you chose to go to the cinema.
I know. I didn't know it was going to be that long though. I didn't think about it. Most of the things that I say yes to, I haven't even. I never even contemplate. It's so flipping.
Wow.
But it was worth it. It was worth it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys, and we will see you on the next one.
See you soon.